Hey, welcome! Today, we're putting on our detective hats and heading into the wild. Our investigation site? The absolutely breathtaking Sulphur Mountain in Canada's Banff National Park. We're going to dive deep into a student fieldwork project that uncovers the hidden story of tourism's footprint on this amazing landscape.
So, here's the big question that drives this whole thing. How can just talking to a few tourists on a mountain tell us anything meaningful about the huge, complex relationship between people and nature? Well, we're going to follow the clues and see exactly how a well-planned investigation can lead to some seriously powerful insights.
You know, every good detective story starts with a hunch, a theory. In science, we call that a hypothesis, and the one these students were working with was pretty simple. They suspected that younger visitors are the ones more likely to tackle the tough hike up the mountain, while older folks might opt for the gondola. Makes sense, right? But they had to prove it.
And just so we're all on the same page, a hypothesis isn't a fact. Not yet, anyway. It's really just an educated guess. It's the starting pistol for the whole investigation. The entire point of the fieldwork is to find evidence that either proves this idea right or wrong. All right, so here's the mission brief. The team deployed on a weekday in July, smack in the middle of peak tourist season. Their target? To survey exactly 120 visitors. And this is the crucial part. They weren't just grabbing random people. They were using official 2018 park data on visitor ages as their intel, their guide for the whole operation.
Which, of course, brings up a huge challenge for any investigator. You're on a mountain that is just swarming with people. How in the world do you make sure you're talking to the right ones? If you set up your stakeout in the wrong spot, your entire case could fall apart. And this is where their strategy gets really, really clever. Check out the two survey locations they chose. You've got location X down at the base, right where everyone gets on the cable car. But then you've got location Y, way up at the summit, strategically placed right where the hiking trail ends. Two very different spots. And they had totally different jobs to do. Location X at the bottom is designed to catch a real mix of people. But the genius move is location Y. It's set up for one reason and one reason only: to intercept people who just finished hiking up the mountain. By separating the hikers, they could put their hypothesis to the ultimate test. But knowing where to stand is only half the battle. To get data that's actually trustworthy, their small sample of 120 people had to be a perfect miniature version of the thousands of people who actually visit the park. That's where that 2018 data comes in. It was like their blueprint for building a reliable sample.
The method they used is called stratified sampling, which sounds complicated, but it's not. Here's how it works. Step 1, they used the park data to figure out the exact percentage of visitors in different age groups. Step 2, they went out and surveyed people to match those percentages perfectly. So if, say, 15% of all visitors were 36 to 45 years old, they made sure that exactly 15% of their 120 interviews were with people in that age group. The result? A fair, balanced, and super reliable set of data. Okay, so with the plan locked in, it was time to collect the evidence. At that key spot, location Y, where the hikers pop out, they asked just two super simple questions. What's your age group? And did you hike up or take the cable car? That's it. Just two little questions to crack the whole case.
And, drumroll please, here's the big reveal. The evidence was crystal clear. The data show that a much higher percentage of younger visitors had hiked up the mountain. Their hunch was right, hypothesis supported, case closed. But, as we'll see, solving this little mystery opens up a much, much bigger one.
I mean, just look at this chart. It lays it all out so clearly. You can see the percentage of hikers is way up there for the younger age groups, and then it just drops off a cliff as visitors get older. The data is telling a very simple, very powerful story. But who cares, right? Who cares who hikes and who rides? Well, it matters because it helps us understand the much bigger picture, the total footprint of tourism. Every single person who visits these places, no matter how they get to the top, is part of this really delicate balancing act between the money they bring in and the impact they leave behind.
Let's start with the good news. Tourism can be an incredible engine for conservation. Every dollar spent on park passes and cable car tickets is money that flows directly back into protecting that park. It pays for rangers, it maintains the trails, and it funds the science needed to preserve these amazing ecosystems for the future.
But, and you knew there was a but coming, there is another side to that coin. The huge number of visitors also creates a pretty big environmental bill, and we can break that cost down into three main zones of damage. First, you've got land pollution. Pretty simple. Litter and trash left on the trails. Second, there's habitat disruption. All those footsteps trample fragile plants, and all that human noise can scare away the very animals people came to see. And third, air quality. All those cars and buses idling in parking lots can create some serious air pollution, right in the middle of these supposedly pristine places.
So what do we do? Well, this is where it all comes full circle, right back to that student project. It all starts with good, accurate fieldwork. When park managers know who is using the trails and how, they can manage them more effectively. Maybe that means reinforcing the trails that younger hikers use most often. That kind of targeted management, paid for by tourist dollars, leads directly to mitigating or lessening the environmental impact. It's a powerful loop, and it all starts with good data.
And that leaves us with this final, really important question. What happened at Sulphur Mountain is a tiny snapshot of a massive global challenge. As more and more of us travel the world to see these incredible natural wonders, how do we make sure that our love for nature doesn't accidentally become the very thing that ruins it? That's a big question, and one we all need to think about.